Can I help you?
Of course, Mr. Grimm. The game, The Order 1886, is finally released.
Really? Oh, I've been waiting for that game for a long time.
I was wondering if you would like to play it.
Well, I would love to join you actually, but I need to. How about this? I'll finish my half full cup, and I'll join you.
Then I shall continue without you. I'm banned.
Okay, actually, it sounds pretty interesting. Hey, Bane, I was... Is that the credits?
Oh yes, it is done. I wonder what would end first, your review or this game? It was this game! Nay!
I will begin this review by saying this. I was so hyped for this game. I love Victorian England, I love old English mythology, and I absolutely love the idea of putting all of these things together. So what happened? The Order 1886 was co-developed by Ready at Dawn and Santa Monica Studios, both companies who has God of War in their resumes. I honestly thought that this game would get the same care and love as the God of War franchise, but nope. Anyway, let's start with the story. The main character's name is Grey, but is also known by another name, a name you might be familiar with. Galahad. Now if that name rings any bells, that may be because our main character, Galahad, is a part of an order that is, well... Okay, just show them what the order is.
We're knights of the round table, we dance where we're able. We do routines, we call the scenes, the footwork impeccable. We dine well here in Camelot, we eat ham and jam and spam a lot.
On second thoughts, let's not go to Camelot. It is a silly place. Right.
Yes, the Order is the Knights of the Round Table, and our main character, Sir Galahad, is one of the knights. The world in this game is in peril. As rebels want to bring down the Queen, a murderer walks around Whitechapel at night, an ancient evil lurking in the shadows of England. The main purpose of the Order is to keep just that, order in the world, and in this game the evil is mainly the half-breeds, or Lycans. But as the story progresses, Sir Galahad finds out that something is amiss in the Order, and he and his friends are trying to shed light on the mess. Something I have to admit is the fact that this is an interesting world that they are making here. The Knights of the Round Table aren't regular humans, as they have been drinking from the Holy Grail, giving them an extended lifespan. I mean, the Chief of the Room fought side by side with King Arthur, King of the Britons.
The Lord Chancellor fight by Arthur's side?
That is the legend.
Anyway, let's look at all the positives in the narrative. The voice acting is pretty decent, there weren't any bad actors here, so that's good. The characters are pretty cool, they seem like real friends towards each other, that they genuinely care about their friends. Personally, I think that Lafayette is badass, since he seems to actually be the most open-minded of all the people, even though the story starts, off showing him as a ladies' man. Another good thing in the story is that it takes you to several settings. In the middle of streets of England, a blimp, the underground and a mental institution. Plus you get to meet fricking Nikola Tesla. And there are a few funny things you can find in his laboratory.
Nicola, how fares your friend Edison these days?
Thomas and I are not on speaking terms. The man is an idiot.
That's actually the only good thing about the narrative. Allow me to say that there are more negatives than positives. And the biggest fault needs to be addressed now. This game is damn short. I finished this entire game in 5 hours and 13 minutes. And if I play again on easy mode, I can probably take it under 5 hours. A lot of people argue the fact that the length of a game shouldn't matter. Definitely when it's a story game, since you don't want the story to just go on and on, overstay its welcome. But the thing is, I will argue against that, a rebuttal, and say that this game is only a prologue to a sequel in the future. This game does not give you a satisfying ending. The antagonist of the story is not stopped. There are several people in this game that you will not personally meet, but you know for a fact that they will meet Galahad in the sequel because of their importance. And the game felt more like it was an episodic game. You know, how Telltales come out with their stuff? That is the exact feeling I got from this game, and it left me speechless when it was over, since it just happened out of nowhere. Plus, while I say that the characters are decent, there is a part in this game where Galahad's personality turns 180 because someone close to him dies. And I know death can change people, but this did not feel natural. And finally, this game follows chapters, which is okay if, you know, there were any replay value, but there's not. There are no stats after a chapter, there are no leaderboards, and there are no multiplayer. There's only a 5-hour long story and that's it. Did I pay full price for a full story game without a full story? I feel to some extent tricked. This is more of a prologue chapter to its sequel than anything. And again, paying full price? God damn it. So to summarize the story portion, very short with no replay value. Decently written characters, just in the middle. And not even a full story, as it only lays foundation for a future sequel. And I hate when games does that, because I paid full price for a story, okay? I did not... It's not complete, okay? But anyway, that's the story. So, let's go into the gameplay. How's that? Now, this game is a third-person shooter with some sneaking and QTEs and minigames spiced in. Now, I will admit that I did not have anything against the QTEs of this game, since they did it kind of differently. That you had to sometimes aim the camera at where you wanted to, you know, see the action. Like, if you're gonna throw a knife and there's a QTE, that you gotta aim for either the head or the stomach. And then you had to push the R2 button or whatever. And sometimes you had to, well, one time, just one, you had to use the touchpad on the DualShock 4 controller to do Morse signals.
Sir Galahad, this is Sentinel-5. We have visual confirmation of your position.
And while sneaking, instead of just running behind the push one button as fast as you can and just spam the button while sneaking, then you have to wait till this ring just perfectly hits the outer shell of the button you have to push, which is triangle, and then you have to perfectly push it. And if you miss, then you will die. It's just an animation, boom, you're dead. Now, I only died once with the QTE sections, and so I don't know if it's every single QTE, but that one sneaking I did, and I didn't push it, and there was one single hit on me. As I've said, the gameplay is mainly about shooting your enemy with a couple of minigames pushed in. Lockpicking, hacking, platforming, the QTEs, and my favorite part, the Lycan bosses. Now, the shooting in this game doesn't do anything revolutionary. You can hold 2 weapons at once and a grenade. All weapons in this game feel different, but they do also feel highly unbalanced. Like the regular handgun just feels completely useless compared to the revolver. And when you use the mode called Black Sight, the strong guns make every single enemy die in one shot. You gain the Black Sight ability by shooting people, and when you activate it, you turn into Revolver Ocelot, where you can choose who to target and shoot to your satisfaction. The shooting is a lot of fun. It feels good when you hit your target. The cover system is good, and all the different weapons gives you a new experience each time you get one, even though some of the weaponry feels weaker than the other ones. And the minigames like lockpicking and hacking, can I really call this hacking? Well, anyway, while they don't feel like they're getting any harder or bring anything new to the gameplay, they are fast and they never felt like a bother. And then we have the Lycan or the werewolf encounters. Now, there are times in this game you will fight a beast one-on-one, knife on fangs. This is pretty much quick time events and 2 attack buttons, but it did feel awesome, and it's one of the most memorable parts of this game for me. But only 2 times in this game do you have this kind of boss battle, and there is no difference between the 2 Lycans. And speaking of the other Lycan encounters, they suck so much! You meet up to 3 Lycans at once, but they only have 1 attack. Charge at you in a straight line, which you can dodge by pushing the X button, and instead of slashing at you when they're close, they turn around and run where they were before, so they can do the same thing again. Wow! If I remember correctly, the first trailer teased the Lycans to us, and this is what we get? That's horrible! And what's worse, guess how many times you actually meet the Lycans? You know, when you shoot at them, not when there's one-on-one fighting, but when you shoot at them. Guess how many times? Just take a while. 2 or 3, I can't quite remember, but how many times is that? The 1 or 2 or 3, you definitely 2, okay? And I can't even remember if it's a 3rd time because their AI is so brain dead. I mean, I thought we would fight these mythological creatures much more since day 1 the first trailer showed us them. They were kind of like having a slogan like putting mythology and history together and stuff like that. But no, you meet 3 times when you have to shoot them and 2 times when there's a boss battle. And those 2 boss battles, when it's 1-1, there's no difference, there's no distinction. There is absolutely nothing special about each of them. Even though those were my favorite kind of gameplay segments of the game, why didn't they make anything different considering that you only fought them 2 times? And do you remember the gameplay trailer when they showed us the underground you hold the lantern thing, and it looks kind of like horror-esque thriller game? It looks like it was actually had some horror elements in the game. That is not the case, okay? It's not scary at all. It's almost as if the developer said, okay, I don't know how these creatures work, so let's look at the rhinoceros. Flawless logic. Bravo. And speaking of logic, there is a type of human enemy, and I'll say that again, human enemy, that can take more bullets than the werewolves. And it feels unfair sometimes how Galahad, a knight of the round table, a person who has become more than a human, can survive a few bullets, but a dude with a shotgun? Well shit, that's Dante from Devil May Cry. And another thing that is annoying as F is the fact that the people you are with won't shut up about you going out of cover. Yes, I know, but... Okay, I realize that, but... Sure, I know I need to... Okay, I realize that, but how can I kill my enemies if I always stay in cover? And every time you get a new weapon, the game wants you to personally inspect the damn thing. But instead of giving you a button to continue the cutscene or anything like that, you have to woggle the damn thing around like a ragdoll, and everything you can find around and inspect is useless. There is nothing interesting worth inspecting in this game, except when the story needs you to do it. Well, I found Sackboy, but except from that, it was pointless. And another annoying thing, the platforming is so tedious. The thing is that you can't use an object, a wall, or a ledge, or anything if another person is using it. So you have to wait for the other person to let go of it. And there are times where you will come to a door that you can't open, so you'll have to wait for your companion to open it for you. Why?
Is this way.
And finally, in the gameplay department, there are some collectibles. You can find these audio boxes that can hold interviews, some recordings, some piece of music by my favorite composer of all time, Frédéric François Chopin. He's awesome. Eternal Sonata. But since I never found any major interest with the lore, because, you know, how the mythological creature work and everything like that, and just a decently written story, I never listened to them, okay? I never cared about finding them. The only time I actually listened to the entire thing was the musical audio box. Now, the sound design is pretty good. As I've said, the voice acting is decent. The main theme, like I think it's called the Night theme or something, it's absolutely amazing, like really beautiful. So that's quite a positive thing. And let's continue with something positive, so that we don't end the review on something negative. This game looks amazing, there's no doubt about it. Sure, it doesn't play at 60 frames per second, but I've never had any problems playing 30 FPS games. So that is more of a preference, I suppose. There are no loading screens. I mean, I don't remember them, at least. That's a good thing. And the cutscenes and the gameplay feel one and the same. Everything feels like one experience that doesn't throw you off by sudden, better-looking movies. Though these black things are a bit annoying. So, The Order 1886 is average. The game is short and the story is only like a beginning of a major epic story. The gameplay isn't anything special. The AI of the Lycans, which is the only mythological creature you will fight in this game, is horrible. And there is nothing else to do than the story. So once you've played through the story, there is absolutely nothing else. So this game, The Order 1886, gets a 5 out of 10. I met with no problems or glitches or freezes when I played through the game, and I did enjoy myself, but considering that the game is so damn short and that there is nothing else to do than the story, that I need you to understand. And I would recommend waiting for a price drop. Now, I don't want you to believe that I'm giving this game a complete average score. Not bad, not good, but average score, just because of the length of the game. But paying full price for just 5 hours of gameplay with not even a full story, it just feels like a waste of money. Anyway, I'm KingJGrim, or the King of Games, whatever you prefer, and I'll see you guys next time. Hi there, thank you so much for watching my video. If you liked it, then please leave a like. It really helps me both professionally and emotionally. Another thing that would make me cry out of happiness would be if you subscribe, but only if you enjoy my content, which you can figure out by watching some of the videos to the right there. The upper one is a video where I played through Diddy's Conquest in one video and give some of my thoughts about the game in a comedic fashion, while the video down there is another review, which you can watch. Anyway, please enjoy your day, and I'll see you guys next time.